You ever look someone in the eye, someone who waves at you? Every block party smiles with those perfectly polished teeth and realize they're capable of taking everything you love. That's how I learned my neighbor, my HOA president, could smile at my daughter on a Sunday and then steal her from her crib by Friday. Yeah, that happened. And the story I'm about to tell you, well, let's just say you might want to double check your locks tonight. The night it all hit the fan, I was sitting under the harsh fluorescent lights of a police station clutching Emma's teddy bear like it was the only thing holding me together. Still smelled like baby powder, still smelled like her. I couldn't stop shaking. Detective Martinez sat across from me, voice gentle, sliding a box of tissues my way. Mrs. Richardson, I need you to start from the beginning. When did you last see your daughter? I wanted to answer, really I did. But how do you say out loud that the woman who took your baby wasn't some monster lurking in a dark alley? She was Patricia Henderson, the queen bee of our little suburban HOA, the lady in the silver hair who ran Christmas light contests and passive-aggressively commented on your lawn height, the woman who destroyed my world over $375. That morning felt like any other, except maybe I was running on 2 hours of sleep, new mom style. David, my husband, was already off to his construction job, still hoping to dig us out from under the mountain of bills, especially after Emma's long NICU stay. I was making Emma's bottle when the doorbell rang. Patricia was on my porch, pressed in perfect lips in that thin line I'd learned to dread. Sarah, we need to discuss your outstanding HOA fees. You're 3 months behind. No, hello, no. How's the baby? Just business. I shifted Emma to my hip. She was teething and my shirt was half soaked with drool. Patricia, I told you last week David's hours got cut. We're working on it. She looked at me like I was an inconvenience. Working on it isn't good enough. The HOA board voted. If payment isn't received by Friday, we'll be forced to take action. What kind of action? Legal action, of course, liens, penalties, all those words that sound harmless until you realize your house, your sanctuary, can be yanked away for the price of a couple car payments. Everyone else manages to pay on time, she said, that smile never touching her eyes. What Patricia didn't know or didn't care to know was that everyone else didn't have a baby who spent 2 months in the NICU. Everyone else didn't have $60,000 in medical bills and insurance denials. But I swallowed all of it. I understand. We'll figure something out. She turned on her heel. Friday, 5 o'clock. As I closed the door, my tears and Emma's started at the same time. David came home late, drywall dust in his hair, exhaustion in his bones. When I told him about Patricia's visit, his jaw clenched. We'll borrow from my brother. David, we still owe him from the hospital bills. I don't care. He slammed his hand on the counter, making Emma wail. Then he crumbled, scooping her up, apologizing through his tears. We'll figure this out, Sarah, I promise. I won't let them take our home. Only it wasn't our home they were coming for. Friday rolled around too fast. David had scrounged up $200 odd jobs, sold tools, anything he could. Not enough, but it was something. I was supposed to bring the check at 5, but Emma had screamed herself hoarse all day, teething, inconsolable. By 4:30, she finally passed out in her crib. I made a choice that haunts me still. I decided to dash over to Patricia's, just 2 blocks away, 10 minutes tops. I locked the door, left Emma sleeping, and ran. Patricia barely opened her door before scolding me for being late. It's 4:40, I panted. And I have a partial payment. She eyed the check like it was dirty. Sarah, this is $200. The amount due is $375. It's all we have right now. David's picking up extra shifts. The deadline was today. Full payment. I was desperate, then angry. Patricia, we have a baby. We've been through hell this year. Can't you have a little compassion? She just shrugged. Compassion doesn't pay for neighborhood maintenance. Rules are rules. She started to close the door, but I begged, honest to God, on my knees, begged. And for a split second, I saw something almost human in her eyes, but it vanished. Next Friday, full amount plus penalties, $200. Or the board moves forward with legal action. Door shut. End of discussion. I stood on her porch, shaking, tears streaming down my face. $200. We didn't have that kind of money. And that's when I heard the scream, a sound I will never, ever forget. My blood froze. Emma. I sprinted home. The front door was open. I'd locked it. I knew I had. Upstairs, her crib was empty. The window was open. Curtains blowing in the breeze. My baby was gone. Everything after that blurs, screaming, 911, collapsing with Emma's teddy bear in my arms, rocking on the floor of her nursery. David and the police arrived minutes later. His face went ghostly at the sight of the empty crib. He dropped to his knees and we clung to each other while officers fanned out searching for any sign. Detective Martinez took our statements. She was kind, but her questions cut. You left your 6-month-old alone. I was gone 10 minutes. The door was locked. She was sleeping. I thought I wasn't being judged, but I judged myself. Who could have done this? Officer Chin found the note on our kitchen counter. Consider this collateral until your debt is paid in full. You have 48 hours. Tell the police and you'll never see her again. A concerned neighbor. I threw up right there on the floor. The FBI got called in ransom child abduction federal case. Our street turned into a circus of news vans, flashing lights, neighbors peeking through blinds. Who knew about the HOA fees? Martinez asked. Everyone, David spat. Patricia made sure of that, public notices, gossipy newsletters. They asked about Patricia. We told them everything, her harassment, her threats, her cold indifference. She was the last person I'd seen before Emma vanished. But I just couldn't believe she was capable of this. We'll look into everyone, Martinez promised. Who else has a key to your house? No one. It's a deadbolt. That night was endless. The FBI set up phone recorders in case of ransom calls. I sat by the phone, gripping Emma's teddy bear, praying. David paced, muttering about robbing a bank if it would bring Emma home. I couldn't even finish the thought that most abducted kids who aren't found in the first 24 hours don't make it home. At 2:00 a.m., I wandered into Emma's empty nursery, sat in the rocking chair humming her lullaby. David found me there kneeling in front of me, taking my hands. Sarah, this isn't your fault. I left her, I whispered. 10 minutes. You didn't do anything wrong. Then why is she gone? The sun rose like it didn't know our world was in pieces. At 7 a.m., Detective Martinez came with Agent Torres. Did you know Patricia had a daughter? We both shook our heads. Elizabeth Henderson died 20 years ago, 6 months old. SIDS. The room went silent. They'd found hundreds of photos of Emma on Patricia's phone through windows at the park and the grocery store. David exploded. That psycho has my daughter. We're executing a search warrant now, Martinez told us, but they needed to be careful if Patricia felt cornered. Emma could be in danger. Right then my phone rang. Patricia's voice was almost cheerful. Hello, Sarah. I assume you found my note. Where's my baby? I screamed. She's safe, happier than she's been in months. Martinez gestured for me to keep her talking, trace the call. Please, Patricia, please bring Emma home. We'll pay. We'll move. Just please don't hurt her. Hurt her. I would never hurt a baby, Sarah. I'm protecting her. Protecting her from you. Her voice turned icy. You left a 6-month-old alone. What kind of mother does that? I broke, sobbing. 10 minutes. I was bringing you money. Money you demanded. Excuses. My Elizabeth deserved better. Emma deserves better. I can give her everything she needs. You're too incompetent to provide. I tried to reason with her. Tell her Emma needed me, needed her real mother. She paused. If you want Emma back, have the full payment ready. $2,200. I'll contact you with instructions. The line went dead. But the FBI had traced the call. She was only a few blocks away. SWAT teams rolled in, neighbors gaping as agents surrounded Patricia's house. She came to the door in a floral dress, Emma in her arms, my baby alive, wearing a pink onesie I'd never seen. The negotiator called out, "Patricia, put the baby down and come out with your hands visible." Patricia clung to Emma, pleading, "I can't lose another daughter." She looked straight at me across the lawn, her eyes wild with grief, with something broken beyond repair. "Emma can fix this. Emma can make me whole." The negotiator stayed calm. "She's just a baby who needs her mama." Patricia broke sobbing. "I just wanted to be a mother again. Is that so wrong?" Detective Martinez stepped forward. "You know this is wrong. You know Emma belongs with Sarah and David." Patricia looked at Emma, then at me, and finally slowly knelt and placed Emma gently on the porch. She kissed her forehead, raised her hands. Agents rushed in. Emma was safe. I ran arms wide, scooping Emma up, sobbing into her hair. She looked at me, then smiled, reaching for my face. David collapsed beside us. Paramedics checked her. She was healthy, no harm. Patricia was led away, still mouthing apologies I couldn't hear. The FBI found Patricia's house set up as a nursery, a recreation of her daughter's room from 20 years before. She'd planned it all for months, copying our key, learning our schedule, using HOA fees as leverage. She went to trial national news, the HOA Karen, who kidnapped a baby. Some neighbors blamed us. Others avoided us. The HOA board crumbled, 3 members resigned. But none of it brought back our peace. Patricia tried to plead insanity. On the stand, I told them everything, every raw detail. When her lawyer tried to paint me as a negligent mom, I told the jury I made one mistake in 10 minutes. Patricia Henderson made a choice over 6 months. Guilty. 32 years, no parole for 15. We moved. David started a construction company. I went back to school. Emma started preschool, brought home finger paintings. Nightmares came less often. Then 2 years later, a call. Patricia was dying of cancer. She wanted to see me. I refused until I learned she had a journal, names of other families she'd stalked, children she'd photographed. 17 families in all. I visited her in the hospital, Detective Martinez at my side. Patricia confessed, frail and broken. She'd left her own daughter alone once for 10 minutes. When Elizabeth died, Patricia's grief warped into something monstrous. She saw herself in me, convinced herself she was saving Emma. Her journal led the FBI to 17 families, some horrified, some in denial, but all suddenly aware how close they'd come to disaster. Patricia died a week later alone. Emma grew. We healed slowly. I told her when she was old enough an age-appropriate version of what happened. We built a community with the other families, supporting each other through the weird shared trauma. Laws changed. HOA boards in our state now require mental health training, Emma's law. Years later, I wrote Emma a letter. She'll read it when she's 18. It says, "You come from warriors, you come from love. When darkness finds you, and it will one day remember that your parents fought through fire for you, that justice, however slow, can still win." Patricia Henderson tried to destroy us, to take our daughter, to break our family, and she failed. Emma is thriving, happy, loved. That's the only ending that matters. You can't put a price on peace of mind. You can't foreclose on love. And you sure as hell can't kidnap the future and expect to get away with it. So what do you think? Was justice served? Would you have forgiven Patricia, or was that 32 years behind bars enough? Drop your thoughts below. Where are you watching from? And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one, because sometimes the truth is stranger, scarier, and a whole lot braver than fiction.